right here on the Fan Cave Sports Talk.
The Fan Cave.
Cave? What cave?
The Fan Cave Sports Talk.
What's up? What's happening? What is going on here on the Fan Cave Sports Talk with on IBP Media Worldwide? I am Cuzin Brad, and with me, as always, my co-host, my guy to the left, Mr. And shout out to you, man. NBC got the new book coming out. Got shouted out by Mr. Kid himself from Kid and Play. Christopher Kid Reed is my co-host.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Kulu, what's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, man? Shout out to Kid from Kid and Play, man. Shout out to NBC for putting that knowledge out there to the real world. Make sure y'all go get that Black Pharaoh Rise, the Golden Age of Triumph book. Doing big things on IBP Media. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Exactly. That was the next thing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. IBP Media. Anyway, Kulu, bro, man, we're going to start it off. We're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about a Hall of Famer who has been lighting the airwaves up. We are talking about a Hall of Famer, probably the greatest, number 2. And I mean that in a nice way. Don't come after me. Don't come after Fan Cave. The greatest number 2, the greatest Robin in sports ever. We're talking about Mr. Scottie Pippen.
Kobe.
Okay.
But go ahead.
But yeah, we're talking about Mr. Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen has been loading the airwaves up. Kulu, I know you've been salivating to get on this, man. You actually made a live video on this a couple of days ago. Scottie Pippen, I don't know. I mean, now me and you grew up in the hood. We grew up, two black kids from the hood, and we grew up on the model that you can't knock the hustle, right? You can't knock the hustle. Now, Scottie's got a book coming out. But he has been going in on everybody, and we are going to talk about him early on. We're going to he pretty much going to extend the show because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start off with the legend Scottie Pippen. Kulu, what's going on with Scottie Pippen, bro?
Man, the first thing what he started with was Durant. And he made some statements that LeBron ain't KD and KD ain't LeBron,
right?
Which is a factual statement.
That's a fact.
I don't disagree with Scottie on that. I think Scottie sees LeBron James more of himself in LeBron James than probably anybody in the league.
Okay,
being a defender, all around basketball player.
Right.
So I think he respects LeBron James in that fashion. But I also think that he going overboard, man. He going overboard. KD played his heart out. Like, I'm not a KD fan, and you know this. You know I'm not a KD.
You are not a KD fan.
But I watched that man pour his blood, sweat, and tears on that game. He played a fantastic game, some fantastic 3 games he played in losing efforts. But it goes to prove my point that you cannot win alone.
Right. And that's kind of what Scottie said. Scottie said, quote unquote, KD is not using his teammates enough. He needs to utilize his teammates better on if he wants to win a championship. But we'll get to that because Scottie had other things to say. He didn't know that you hit it on the head. It started with Durant, and then it morphed. It started with Durant. Then it kind of morphed over to Doc Rivers for some reason. Now, I mean, Scottie played against Doc Rivers. So I don't know, but he said, quote unquote, this is Doc Rivers. This was someone asking him about Ben Simmons. And he said, quote, the kid has been this way the whole time. Doc brought him in and set him up for failure. He's been like this. And you guys know he's been like this. And Doc kept putting him in the game and kept letting him do all these things, let all these teams foul him and take him out the game, just like the Lakers did with Shaq. And Shaq is probably more dominant and probably more fearless than Ben Simmons, but Doc set him up for failure. Now, okay. All right. Is there some truth to that? I mean, kind of.
No. You know what? Coaches coach, players play.
Yeah.
Coaches coach, players play. Okay, so Ben Simmons, he has no one to blame but himself for his poor, horrible play out there. Being afraid to score, being afraid to dunk on guys 6'3", and passing it off to someone else. That's all Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons even admitted it himself, saying that his mental wasn't right.
Yeah.
So let's not put that on Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons, man, he has the potential to be a top 5 player in this league. He has not lived up to that yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't put that on Doc Rivers. I put that on Ben Simmons.
Yeah. I get where Pippen was trying to go with that statement. Again, he's kind of making sort of sense, but all right, whatever. You know, he's a Hall of Famer.
But do you bench a top 2 player in your team? I mean, if you do that and you lose, you know how badly that would make Doc Rivers look?
True. I get it. But
it's
at the same
gamble
time,
to do that in Game 7. That's not smart.
Now, to be fair, at the same time, Ty Lue, the Clippers are still in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Doc had the Clippers. They got knocked out. Clippers are still in the playoffs right now. Ty Lue got them boys balling without Paul George. So, I don't know. I mean, let's call a spade. Ben Simmons can't shoot. That's why he didn't play well. So it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna take what Scottie Pippen said with a grain of salt. I don't know. Now, like I said earlier, we grew up on You Can't Knock the Hustle. Now, Scottie Pippen has a book coming out. He also has a bourbon he's trying to sell. You know what I mean? So, okay, maybe some of this is like to create hype. But then Scottie started going off the rails a little bit. Now, he made a statement on Dan Patrick. Shout out to Dan Patrick. He's the god. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? Dan Patrick, love your show. Sports Center original. Shout out to you. But he went on Dan Patrick's show, and Dan Patrick asked him, about the book and, talked about The Last Dance. And Scottie made a relatively weird comment. Now, Kulu, we're going to take you on a time machine here. Let's go back in time.
Uh-huh.
Let's go back to 1994.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go back to 94. Michael Jordan was doing his thing. He was playing baseball. The Bulls, they were still in the playoffs. Weren't a bad team. A lot of people forget that. They weren't a bad team.
They won 55 games. They won
55
games. They won 4 games less than they won the season before with Michael Jordan.
Exactly. So they weren't a bad team. Now, Scottie Pippen, that year, was MVP of the All-Star game. People forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's take it back to 1994. They were playing my beloved Knicks, who I love. And Chicago was down. And it was 1.8 seconds left, fourth quarter. Now, Phil Jackson, shout out to Phil Jackson, you know what I mean? New York Knicks won us the championship as a player. But drew up a play that did not involve Scottie. It involved actually Tony Kukoc, who was on that team. And
correction, it involved Scottie, but he was inbounding.
He didn't shoot the ball. So it involved it, but the play wasn't designed for him. It was designed for Kukoc to shoot the ball.
Correct.
So it was a design play. Kukoc takes the shot, makes the shot, wins the game. All right, 1.8 seconds left. Scottie, 1.8 seconds left, refused to go into the game. He refused to go into the game. He sat on the bench, said, I ain't going in. We watched The Last Dance. Our first show was about The Last Dance. You remember seeing what's homeboy name that was on the bench next to him?
Was it Cartwright?
Yes, Cartwright sitting on the bench, pleading with us. Scottie, don't do this. Scottie, we need you in the game. It's your team now. Scottie, go in. Scottie doesn't go in. Luckily, Kukoc makes the shot. Scottie refused to go in because it wasn't for him. Now, Scottie says, quote, checks notes. This is the one time without Michael Jordan. This is the one time in the spotlight for Scottie Pippen to rise up without Michael Jordan, and you don't let Scottie Pippen shoot the final shot. And he let Kukoc shoot it. Kukoc makes the shot. They win the game. They beat my beloved Knicks. Now, Dan Patrick says, he was asked, did this have something to do with race? And Scottie says, you could call it that way. I won't say it wouldn't. And Dan Patrick says, so, okay, do you think this has something to do with race? Do you think that Phil is a racist player? A racist coach? And Scottie says, quote, I would say that. Really?
And just to elaborate on what you said, he also mentioned about Phil Jackson throwing Kobe Bryant under the bus in his book.
Oh, we're gonna get to that too. Right now we're in a time machine. We're in 1994 right now. We're in 1994. We'll get to that. We'll get to that too.
So is Scottie Pippen going a little bit too far? Yes. Here it is. Who coach has made that shot, right? Who coach is a better shooter than Scottie Pippen. And also the owner, Jerry Krause at the time, considered Tony Kukoc to be the Michael Jordan of Europe, right? That was the talk. That was why they got Kukoc.
Right.
And Kukoc made the shot, man. Like, that's the end result. Kukoc made the shot.
He did.
And it didn't look good for Scottie Pippen. It really didn't. But yeah, I think that was. I won't pull a race card on that. We'll talk about the Kobe incident though when we get to
again. Yeah, I'm not gonna put a racist card there. I'm not gonna put a racist card on that one. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It was Kobe's team. It was Scottie's team. Michael Jordan was out doing basketball. You're absolutely right. Jerry Krause signed Tony Kukoc, sent him to Michael Jordan in Europe or whatever, brought him over. He even made more money than Michael Jordan that 1 year, right? If I'm not mistaken on that. So he made more money than Michael Jordan. So it looked bad for Scottie. Now, did it look bad? To me, it looked bad because he didn't check himself into the game. Had he would have passed the ball to Kukoc and he still makes it anyway, I mean, to me, it don't look bad for Scottie.
But I will say this though, Cousin Brad, that I don't like the idea of Scottie being the inbounder. I think you at least have him out there as a decoy. Just basketball wise, I think you at least have Scottie out there as a decoy. I think that's just smarter than having him as an inbounder. But
that's fair. That's fair. Now we're still in 1994 right now, right? We're still in 1990. We're still at that game.
Yeah.
Now, Kulu, let's go back to that game. The Knicks are up. The Knicks are up at this point. Right. This is before this shot happened. Do you remember who took the shot before it got to this point? Before Harper got the rebound? Do you know who took that last shot?
No.
It was Scottie Pippen. He took that shot the game was tied. Scottie took the shot. It went off the backboard. The guard, Patrick Ewing, got the rebound, takes it up the court, ties the game. Call time. The Bulls call timeout. So, Scottie, you had your moment in the sun. You had your moment to shine. You missed the shot. And let's be honest, we're still in 1994. We're still in 1994 right now. Kulu, we watched the Bulls. Our Uncle Bobby, rest in peace, he loved the Bulls.
Right.
Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck here. Was Scottie Pippen ever a closer? Was he ever a closer?
I mean, Scottie's hit some clutch shots. I won't say he was a closer, though.
Was he a closer? Exactly.
No, he's not.
If you're going to take the final shot, it's going to be Jordan. It's going to be Kerr. It's going to be Kukoc.
Paxson.
It's going to be Ron Harper. Ron Harper was a better shooter than Scottie Pippen. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're wrong about that one, though. But
he wasn't a better shooter?
No, he wasn't.
I mean, he wasn't a better player. I'm not saying he was a better player than Scottie.
I don't think he was a better shooter either, no.
Come on, man.
Agree with you on that one.
Okay. All right. Well, you won't give me that one, but all right. He wasn't a better shooter. But Ron Harper might take the shot before Scottie if we're talking about closing the game. All right. So let's talk about that. So we're still 94. So okay. So yeah, that don't put a race card on that one. Now, he said Phil was racist. So we can't pull his card on that one. Now we're gonna move a little forward in time. Phil had a book that came out. Remember Phil's book that came out?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the players live by a certain code that you don't air dirty laundry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just everybody. That's just all around. It's all around. You see players on sports shows all the time. How many times have you heard this? Yeah, when I was in the game, when I played, it was a player in the locker room. Not going to say his name, but it was a player in the locker room. He stole my shoes. I ain't gonna say his name, but he know who he is. How many times have you heard that?
We heard that a lot, especially in the 90s. You kept things, in the locker.
You don't break the code. Phil broke the code. Now, mind you, he broke the code. It was a tell-all, aired out a lot of dirty laundry about R.I.P. Kobe, rest in peace. Do you think that has something to do with racist? I don't. But Kobe came back and won a championship with Phil anyway. So I don't know how he swung that after what he said about Kobe in the book. But what do you think that was a time to pull the race card on him?
No, I still don't think that had anything to do with race. I think at that point where Phil made that book, he was trying to separate from that rape case.
Mm-hmm.
You know it and I know it.
Yes.
You know it and I know it. That was something that Phil was trying to distance himself. Shout out to Kobe Bryant for being such a forgiving man.
Right.
And
I don't know how you swung that.
And allowed Phil to come back to LA with the Gasol run and the Ron Artest run. But I still wouldn't say that's racist. I just say that was just Phil, getting out of his character.
Yeah, trying to like, hey, let's talk about that's his thing. That's his thing. That's the stuff that he does. I'm Phil Jackson.
But can we push that time machine a little forward though?
Oh yeah. Hold on. I'm not done. Okay. We're gonna go to 1999. Okay. 1999. Now this is a quote from Phil Jackson on the remark on Society of Black Players. This is October of 1999. This is on ESPN.com. Quote, I don't mean to say that as a snide remark towards a certain population in our society, but they should have limitation of their attention span. A lot of it probably is due to too much rap music going on in their ears and coming out of their being. Now that was 1999. Okay. All right. That's eyebrow raising. Okay. Yeah. Not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay. Let's go to 2005. 6 years later. This is on the ESPN. This is again from October of 2005. The San Bernardino Sun. This is a quote from Phil Jackson on the NBA dress code at the time. Remember that dress code? They had to change how they dressed and everything, right?
Right.
Quote, the players have been dressing like prison guard. The last 5 or 6 years, all the stuff that goes on, it's like a gangster thuggery stuff. It's been time to switch this dress code. Unquote. Now, okay. Another eyebrow-raising statement from Phil Jackson. So, all right, we kind of gave you a pass again, Phil. All right. Now, we're going to move the time machine a little forward now. And he talked about your boy, your favorite player, your guy. He said, quote, now this is about your boy, LeBron James, Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and I forgot the other guy's name. Okay, we're back. He said, well, we don't know how this is going to go when LeBron and his posse going to control the narrative on how NBA players are looked. Unquote. Phil did it again. So now, after these 3 statements, and you said you had one as well.
Well, that was the one.
That was it? That was it?
That was the one I was waiting for. That was the one.
You were waiting on that one. Okay, so you was waiting on that one. So after hearing these, does Scottie look crazy now?
Ooh.
Yeah. Just got real up in here.
Well, you know what? Hearing those, it doesn't. I still don't think that decision was made based off of race, though. Though Phil Jackson may have some racist tendencies like a lot of people his age, Caucasian people his age may have. I still don't think that particular situation had anything to do with race. But, does he have some credence to the character of Phil Jackson? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Now, again, these are all quotes. I am not coming at Phil Jackson. Do I think Phil Jackson's a racist? I absolutely don't. I don't believe he's a racist. I don't know Phil Jackson. I've never been around Phil Jackson. Probably, arguably, the greatest coach of all time. Innovator of the triangle offense. Don't rate me. Don't rate the coals on me. I'm just simply stating what you said. These are 3 quotes from yourself, Mr. Jackson. Don't come after me. And you put Kobe's laundry out there. So let's put yours out there too, because you said some things that are, I don't want to say racist, but definitely raised an eyebrow. Definitely raised an eyebrow. Right. So with that being said, Scottie Pippen saying that Phil Jackson's a racist. My final determination about that is I don't think that what he said was racist, but I think it's definitely a racial comment, if I had to put it that way, if I could put it somewhere. If that makes sense.
Racist.
Okay.
That's what it is. Just call it what it is. Just call it what it is.
We're going to pull this card?
Yeah, pull this card.
All right, we pull this card. Sorry, Phil. No, we ain't gonna let you have that one.
Yeah.
You won 11 titles, and you had 4 of the greatest players of all time. We might have to pull your card on this one, Phil.
Yeah. And let us know your comments, what y'all think down below. Yeah. Comment, please let us know. Do you think Phil Jackson was a racist based off of things we just mentioned? Based off Scottie Pippen's opinion, do you think Phil Jackson made that decision based off racism? Please leave us a comment. We'll appreciate it.
Now, one more thing Scottie said. This one got a lot of eyebrows raising today. All right? He said when Michael Jordan, when he played baseball, when he went to go play baseball, because apparently he was feeling some type of way about baseball, gambling. But, whatever. He said, and I quote, "It was a real serious decision on his part, but at the same time, we were in the middle of something really great, and this was very selfish. This was a selfish decision on his part." Unquote. Now, Scottie, you got a book to sell, but you are not the person to be calling somebody selfish after what you pulled the year he went to go play baseball. So, if so facto, Kulu, what do you think? Do you think this man is actually saying some facts here, or is he just trying to promote his book?
Man, listen, this is all stemming from The Last Dance, bro.
Right, I get that.
And we talked about not airing the players' dirty laundry out there. There's certain things that Michael Jordan did to make his Robin look very bad. And this is Scottie's way of getting back at Michael Jordan. Let's keep this all the way 100.
Okay.
This is Scottie's way of saying, you did it through a video. I'm going to put this pen to the pad, and I'm going to get back at you with my words. And you aired me out, said I quit on my team, said I was selfish for holding out on the injury in that final year for my contract situation.
Right.
All that stuff that you exposed about me, now I'm going to expose things about you. So this is Scottie's way of getting back at Michael Jordan. Now,
so this is Scottie's ether, is what you're saying.
This is Scottie's ether here, where he's now speaking out against Michael Jordan. But some of the things is a little crazy because he mentioned, he was like, I think he said that the Steve Kerr shot was rehearsed,
scripted,
like it was like a scripted thing. And come on, man, you don't script.
Okay, okay. So you know what? It's funny you mentioned that. Let's go back in this time machine. Let's go back to 96. Let's go back to that game. So, Scottie, you mean to tell me that this was a scripted play and you knew in the huddle where the Jazz were up, you knew in the huddle that the night before the game, you would be in this situation and that Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr will rehearse this and say, hey, the game's going to come down to you guys. They're going to key on me. I'm going to kick the ball to Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr, you're going to hit this shot. We're going to look into the cameras, and everything's going to be like, yeah. You mean to tell me you can predict the future? Do you live in Groundhog Day? Is this Groundhog Day for Scottie Pippen?
That was the most ridiculous comment that he made right there.
I mean, how is that possible?
Yeah.
Can you predict that you would even be in this situation? Because I can't. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. How is that scripted? How can you script a shot like that? So that means now, so what you're saying is the Bulls could have blew the Jazz out, is what you're saying. They could have blew them out, but they wanted to script a magic moment in a playoff game in the finals? You wanted to script that? They scripted this to make this moment look better. Come on, man.
Yeah, he's tripping on that one.
Come on, bro.
Scottie, I can't help you on that one, bro. Love you to death. I can't help you on that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, you no. Nah, that.
But you know that all of this stems from Michael Jordan, and I love Michael Jordan to death. You know this, but in more recent years, I've seen the egotistical Michael Jordan to where I did it myself. I did it with no one. It's not true. It's not true for the Fan Cave fans. It's not true. I'm gonna say it again. Michael Jordan did not win finals by himself. He didn't win anything without Scottie Pippen, and Scottie Pippen didn't win anything without him. But Scottie Pippen did go farther than Michael Jordan ever went without him. Scottie went to Western Conference Finals, should have possibly won. Scottie went to an Eastern Conference semi, should have won. Bad call, cost them to lose to New York in that 7-game series.
I'm sorry, who did they lose to?
They lose to New York.
Yeah,
they lost to Spike Lee. But you don't win by yourself. You don't win by yourself. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. I love Michael Jordan. He's a great player, the greatest player of all time. But you didn't win those championships by yourself. I'm looking at the stats here. B.J. Armstrong in 3 of those years averaged 15 points per game. Horace Grant averaged 14 points per game in most of those years with Michael Jordan. John Paxson shot 43% from the 3-point line. I mean, these guys were not – Jordan wasn't winning alone. He was just a great player that put them over the top. So let's not get this mixed up, okay? And I think in The Last Dance, he made it all about him. He made it all about him and him making the Chicago Bulls great. And a lot of players, even Horace Grant, took some issues with that. They did not like that idea that he made it all about him, this Last Dance.
Okay, now to speak on that, let's just speak on that. Jordan warned us before we even saw The Last Dance. This might make me look like a a-hole, quote unquote. He said this might make me look very, very selfish, but he was speaking on this from his perspective. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
So he put up the money. The documentary was shot at this time. Everybody knew the documentary was shot. And there was a lot of Bulls players and Bulls fans and Bulls writers and Bulls players. There were a lot of people who agree with a lot of the stuff that Jordan said. So, it kind of looked like a douche. I'm not going to lie. Some of those parts, you're like, wow, Michael, I idolize this guy. It's the guy on the Wheaties box. This is Michael. What? But let's be honest. To be fair, had Michael Jordan not have been there, would there even be a Last Dance?
Probably not.
Wouldn't the Last Dance would have been that year where you sat on the bench, Scottie Pippen, and didn't go in the game 1.8 left? Would there even be a Last Dance? Suppose Kukoc
likely not.
Suppose Kukoc misses that shot. Would you even be winning 3 more championships? Would that even happen?
No, he wouldn't have. But it's the same way, vice versa. Would he have won without Scottie? No. Okay. And he proved it. It happened. So it never happened. So these guys are connected. These guys are connected for all time. And it's just like the Kyrie LeBron situation. Until Kyrie wins a ring without LeBron James, he will forever be connected to LeBron James.
Right. And the same way with now this is different. Now, remember the Showtime Lakers? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is arguably the greatest player of all time. Arguably, if we're going to go by the numbers, he leads the league when it comes to point score.
Best basketball career of all time.
Exactly.
3 NCAA championships, 6 NBA finals.
Exactly.
All-time leading scorer. Come on, man. What do you want?
Showtime Lakers. But who leads that team in the Showtime Lakers? Who do we talk about the most when it comes to the Showtime Lakers? Magic. Exactly. It's not on knock on you, Scottie. Some players have that mentality. Jordan, you were on Jordan's team. It was Jordan's team. It is what it is. It was Jordan and Pippen, not Pippen and Jordan. It was Jordan and Pippen. It was Magic and Kareem. It was LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. I mean, it is what it is. It's Derek Jeter and the Yankees. It is what it is. That's who you are. And it's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that they have your name, they have your jersey in the rafters.
I don't think he was concerned with that, because I think he was concerned with the way Michael Jordan allowed him to look in that documentary.
True.
I don't think he was concerned with being Robin his whole career. I think now he's more, his issue more is that Michael Jordan intentionally made him look bad in that documentary. It's hurt his reputation. It's hurt his reputation.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Did Michael make him look bad? Is he taking shots or is he speaking facts?
He was speaking facts, but at the same time, did Michael Jordan throw all his gambling issues out there?
No.
So if you're gonna throw the facts out there, throw your own facts. Was Michael Jordan forced to retire because of all the gambling debt and all the issues he had gambling?
Possibly.
Did he throw that out there? So
possibly.
Scottie kept a lot of Michael Jordan stuff behind the scenes.
Right. He didn't break the code. I understand that. But Jordan touched on it.
But did Jordan do that for him? That's the question.
Well, Jordan touched on his gambling debt. He said it was a hobby of his. He said he was in Atlantic City till 3 in the morning.
He did not say that the team told him you need to take a break. He didn't say that.
He didn't say that. I mean, that's
always been a rumor out there.
And speculation.
That's why Scottie said he was selfish, because it was his gambling debt that caused them to say, listen, Mike, you need to take a break for a while. You need to get your life together. Take a break. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't going to put that out there. So at the end of the day, one airs somebody out, the other one going to air you out back. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a problem with him feeling like, oh, I'm robbing. I don't think he's mad about that. He's mad about everywhere he turns, people saying you quit on your team.
I mean, I don't look at that when I look at Scottie Pippen. I don't look at 1.8 when I look at Scottie Pippen. I said it from the beginning. I think he's the greatest Robin ever.
Bro, that documentary aired at the peak of the pandemic.
Yeah.
When everyone was at home, when there was no NBA fight, nobody in the NBA was on strike at this time. Nobody was playing. Mm-hmm. So that aired right there where the players and the entire world was watching. So players who never even seen Scottie Pippen play before now see that he quit on this team.
Okay, so do you think that this tarnishes? Do you think that moment that everybody witnessed back in the 90s? Remember, this happened in 94.
No, it wasn't everybody. Don't do that.
Come on, man.
Don't do that.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. Let's
be real.
Come on.
Hold on. Wait.
Where is television today? Where is media today? And where was media in 1994?
I get it.
That'll show you the difference.
I get it. Hold on, wait. I get exactly what you're saying. I feel you. But let's be honest. At 1994, that was the season Jordan went to baseball. The NBA wanted to see, can the Bulls do it without Michael? Can the Bulls do it without Michael? Can they do it with Scottie and the bunch? This is Scottie's team now. Can they do it? They got all the way to the what? Was it the was it the semis? That was the semis, right? Okay, so the semifinals against New York Knicks. The New York media, the Mecca, the Garden, against New York. Can they beat the New York Knicks without Michael? And yeah, a lot of people was watching at that point. People don't forget. But does that tarnish Scottie's resume? I don't think it does.
It does. It does. The media is 10 times bigger than it was then. That might have been something that was talked about in New York briefly, and something that was talked about in Chicago briefly, because they won the game. Right. So they probably put that to the wayside and moved on. But now, a whole young new era, new millennials are watching, and all they know about Scottie Pippen is being second to Michael Jordan and now quitting on his team. Let's keep it real. What Michael Jordan says rules. What Michael Jordan says rules, bruh. We all grew up Michael Jordan heads, Michael Jordan fans, wore Michael Jordan kicks, Hanes underwear just because Michael Jordan wore them, stuck our tongue out because Michael Jordan did it, wore a wristband on our elbow because Michael Jordan did it. Listen, wore knee braces on our thighs, not on our thighs, on our calf because Michael Jordan did it. I mean, at the end of the day, Michael Jordan's influence back then and now is still great.
Okay.
So that crushed Scottie, believe it or not.
Okay, so your theory is that this is Scottie's ether. This is Scottie's ether track. This is Scottie's hit 'em up. This is Scottie's no Vaseline to Jordan's last dance, is what you said.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think okay, in that case, do you think this helps Scottie's legacy then?
No.
What he's doing now?
No.
I don't either.
I do think it might help his pockets though.
It's gonna help his pockets. Oh, it's gonna help his pockets. People gonna buy that book just to read.
Mm-hmm.
So, like again, we can't knock the hustle. But overall, I don't think this is gonna affect Scottie's legacy. I don't.
Yeah, I think it will. And the fact that he's coming at guys like Durant who poured his heart out on that court, he's just kind of just talking like a hater out there on that situation particularly.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to do that. That wasn't even necessary to point Durant out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he utilizes players. Joe Harris didn't hit shots. Guys didn't hit shots in Brooklyn. They weren't hitting shots. It was just him.
They were not.
So, and I know this being a LeBron fan, bro. When guys, back in 2018, 2007, when we played the Spurs, when guys couldn't hit shots, you see the results. You see the results. You don't win.
Okay, so yeah, that's true. That's a fact with what you're saying here. But what I'm mentioning, what I'm getting it at is, I'm talking about Scottie Pippen's legacy, what he left on the game. Yeah, all the stuff is coming out now, and yeah, it's a black eye on his legacy right now. But yeah, the last dance was a black eye, and what he's doing right now is a black eye. But black eyes heal. Let's be honest, black eyes heal. Yeah, I think 10 years from now, all they're going to remember about Scottie is he was Michael Jordan's second. He was Michael Jordan's Robin, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I think but don't underestimate the power of Michael Jordan, man. Michael Jordan made a whole. Carl came on here on the show and said Isaiah Thomas was trash because of what Michael Jordan said.
Oh, he's far from trash, though.
Yeah, well, we know, but this is the perception. We forget that Isaiah Thomas won 2 rings in a very tough 1980s.
Very tough.
Dominated by the Celtics and the Lakers.
Yeah. And he played one of probably – we were talking about Kevin Durant's heart. This man rolled his ankle, and we're going to get to Trae Young in a minute. This man rolled his ankle and scored 24 points in the fourth quarter and probably had one of the greatest fourth quarters I've ever seen in a finals game ever. Won the game. He couldn't play in game 5, but what he did on a bum ankle after rolling it, scored 24 points in the fourth quarter. That's just crazy.
Yeah, Isaiah was something special. But Michael Jordan talking about Isaiah made people just skip over Isaiah. And Isaiah said it clearly. He said, I've beaten Michael Jordan more than Michael Jordan beat me.
That's a fact.
And people acted like that wasn't true. People act like Michael Jordan beat Larry Bird. He never beat Larry Bird like that. He never beat him in a playoff game. So we forget these things because we love we look at Michael Jordan as such a God figure, like he can't be beaten. But in the 80s, he wasn't beating everybody.
True.
He was great. He was always a great scorer, but he wasn't beating these great teams, and including Isaiah Thomas. So when Michael Jordan says, I don't like you, like he said about Isaiah Thomas, people started to shame Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah had to go out there, and him being a media mogul himself, he had to go out there and make a case for himself and say, look at the facts. I've beaten Michael Jordan more than Michael Jordan's beaten me.
True. Now wait. Now, Jordan did say this. He said this on The Last Dance. He said Isaiah was the second greatest point guard that ever played the game. He said behind Magic Johnson. Yeah. Now, Magic Johnson had a lot to do with some of that hate too. Remember they went on a show on was it TNT, and they squashed their beef. Because Magic said that Isaiah Thomas called him gay, and that's how he caught HIV and all this other stuff. And like, you know, Magic was saying all of this other crazy stuff. Like Magic Johnson had a hand in that as well.
Yeah, a lot of players didn't want to play with Isaiah, you know.
And I mean, let's be honest. No one liked the Pistons. Let's be real. If we're gonna keep it all the way 100. Yes, it was a Jordan effect. Yes, it was a Magic Johnson effect. But nobody liked the Pistons. Nobody liked the Pistons. They were the bad boys. He played with Bill Laimbeer, probably one of the most hated players of all time. He played with Dennis Rodman before he went crazy. He had those guys on his team, John Sally. You know what I mean? And all those boys, they were notorious for fouling the crap out of people. They beat the crap out of the Celtics. I'm talking about physically, not in the game. But They were beating down teams. So, I mean, at this point, it comes with the territory. You're still the bad boys.
But the point I was mentioning was the Michael Jordan effect.
True.
It makes people forget sometimes other people's contribution to the game because we just put Michael Jordan there. Like he's just, he won 6, never lost, but we forgot what he had to go through to get to that point. And there was players that were great that kind of get skipped over, i.e. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had the greatest basketball career of any player, i.e. Isaiah Thomas, who was the second best point guard in the 80s and in the mid 90s, early to mid 90s. So, that's the Michael Jordan effect. And that will if Michael Jordan says something about Scottie Pippen, his teammate, or Horace Grant, his teammate, it's going to stick on them. And it's going to make them look bad. And it's going to hurt their legacy. And it did. Believe it.
I think it was a black eye. I think this whole thing is a black eye.
I think it could have been but then again, you're not Scottie Pippen. You don't know if he goes to pick up his daughter from school or his son from school and somebody, you quit on your team. We don't know what that was to make him like have such a grudge right now towards Michael Jordan. So
we don't. I mean, and I'm just talking speculation. Does this have anything to do with the future situation?
I played the fifth on that one.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. We're talking about Scottie Pippen. Let's talk about the whole situation. Going through a lot away from basketball too. So whatever. I'm just throwing it out there. Out there.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take a quick break, real quick, and when we come back, we're gonna do our "Don't Be No Fool," and we're gonna talk about some people that ain't getting a lot of publicity, but should be getting their roses now. Take a quick break, and we're gonna do our "Don't Be No Fool."
Is the Fan Cave Sports Talk. Don't be no fool moment. Telling you from the words of Uncle Bobby.
Tell him, Uncle Bobby.
Don't be no fool.
Uncle Bobby. Thank God.
Okay, so this week's "Don't Be No Fool" is for a sport that pretty much nobody talks about, but this happened, and I'm sorry, cool, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but when I saw this, I thought this was absolutely hilarious. So the Tour de France was this weekend that just passed, the Tour de France. If people who don't know, it's a big bicycle race in France, a big bicycle race. A lot of people have money on these guys. A lot of people, they bet a lot of things. They got teams and people train for this for years. Tour de France. It was what Lance Armstrong used to win before he got popped for PEDs and got stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles. Anyway, this week's "Don't Be No Fool" goes to that. I don't know this woman's name. I don't know what this woman was thinking. I don't know what was going on with this woman. But this woman decided to bring a sign to the Tour de France starting line and stand right next to the road to where they were going, the bike path. Now, she had her sign, and maybe I don't know how strong her sign was. I don't know what type of plywood or cardboard that was, but she had her sign up like, yay, free McMill or free whatever, or we shouldn't kill animals or meat is murder or whatever. Whatever was on her sign, I couldn't read it fully, but it knocked one of the players down and caused a chain reaction. And they said 25 bikers got into a pileup. Did you see this? Did you see the stat of this?
Yeah.
That is insane. Okay, if you're going to support something, if you want to, create a hashtag, or if you want to go viral, you went viral. You won. But not on a stage like this where you injure people and cause a bike pile up here. So to whoever that person is, to quote my famous Uncle Bobby, don't be no fool. Move out of the way, let the bikers go. Then maybe you'll catch a camera or two. But you don't went viral, so congratulations. You don't be no fool. Anything to add on this, Cuz?
No, you covered that one.
Oh boy. All right, so moving on. We're going to cover something that I think is covered, but to give you guys an update on what's going on in the NBA playoffs, Trey Young. They're looking like the fan now. They're looking like the fan now.
They're looking for the fan now.
Trying to take legal action.
They're looking for that. Thank you for that, Aubrey.
Aubrey Feaston, thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, see what happens when you be a fool. Now they're taking legal action against you. To quote my famous Uncle Bobby, like I said, don't be no fool. But to give you guys an update on the NBA playoffs and what's going down, the Clippers are still in it. Cool. Your JV team is showing up. They beat the – let's be real. They made it to game 5. Paul George had 41 yesterday. Playoff P is back. They beat the
Don't
Spurs.
make me laugh.
116 to 102. What is going on, man? What's up with
Phoenix?
team?
You know what? I'm gonna say something about Phoenix, man. Phoenix game 1. They played game 1 and 2 without without Chris Paul, correct?
Chris Paul was you're right. Yes.
They looked a lot better without Chris Paul. They played faster. They played more efficient. It seems like Chris Paul slowed the game down when he came back game 3. And since then, they've just been going neck and neck. He's holding the ball a little too long. He's not getting the ball to Booker quick enough. It's a bunch of little things I'm seeing with the Suns. But I will say this about this series here. It's been a defensive series, Cuzin Brad.
Yes.
I mean, these guys, the last game, they only scored 95 points, right? Total, So this past game, they scored 110 to 102 or something like that. But it's been low-scoring games. Yeah. Low-scoring games. So these guys have been defending on both ends of the shout out to Paul George. I'm not a fan of Paul George. Everybody knows this. But he definitely stepped up his game. He let's see, he choked the game before that, missing them free throws.
Yep.
And this is a guy who shoots 92% from the free throw.
Absolutely.
And he choked that one, but he made up for it. So shout out to him for that. Suns, come on, man. Come on, Suns. Come on, Suns. Now,
want him to win.
Speaking of my man, what Aubrey said, Reggie Jackson, woo! That's who they need to be. Reggie Jackson got the best 3-point percentage. He made more threes than anybody in the playoffs, period.
Including Steph Curry.
Well, yeah. Steph Curry didn't make the playoffs. But
talking about this year.
Yeah.
He didn't make
this
the
year.
Okay, he wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. He's made more. Reggie Jackson has made more 3-pointers than anybody in the playoffs, period, this season. So he's balling. Reggie Jackson is balling right now.
All I gotta say about Reggie Jackson is Reggie Jackson. This is from me to you. New York would love to have you. We already have a famous Reggie Jackson for the Yankees. We would love to have one for the Knicks. New York is here. Play in Madison Square Garden.
Facts.
We would love to have you. Just throwing it out.
Come to death row. Come to death row. Lead the JV team and come on and graduate. Come on and graduate and come to death row.
Ain't y'all about to get Dame?
If we get Dame, we don't need him. But
okay, listen, so why y'all stirring the pot? You about to get Dame in a minute.
It ain't a guarantee that we gonna get Dame. We trying to work a deal. We're trying to swing a deal to get Dame, get Cuzin up out of here. But we need a shooter. We need a shooter badly. You know what I'm saying?
That's God. Whatever.
But shout out to Reggie Jackson, man. He's been playing well. DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench. His really,
shout out to Boogie. Where Boogie been?
Showing some life, man.
Where Boogie been?
Boogie has been showing some life, man. So shout out to Boogie. But PG played great. But I say Suns take them out tomorrow night.
Game 5?
This game. Yeah.
They're gonna end it. Okay.
Listen, you and I both know Chris Paul ain't got the best of luck with 3-1s.
Yeah.
We know his history. We know Chris Paul's history with 3-1s.
Yes, we do know Chris Paul's history, but I mean, I can't bet against Booker, man. Booker is a man now. He's a man now. He's grown.
But he's a man. He's a man who got punched in the face, though.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what Mike Tyson say? Everybody the man till they get punched in the face.
True, but man, I'm not ready to hand the keys over to LA just yet. I'm not ready to give them the varsity jacket yet. They still on JV until they beat the Suns. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They got an uphill battle.
Definitely.
Now, has done it before with. We know he has done it before with, but you know who was with him.
Why you got to do that? Why you got to do that?
We know who was with him.
We know who.
Oh, I forgot. I'm not allowed to say his name.
Not till next year.
I'm not allowed to say. Cousin Brad put me on block mode of a certain player that I'm not allowed to say his name. Played with Kyrie Irving in Cleveland.
You know what? Get it out. Just get it out.
And led the greatest comeback ever in finals history from a 3-1 deficit against probably the greatest team ever assembled, the Golden State Warriors. Y'all know who that is, but I'm not going to say nothing.
Just get it out.
I'm going to go watch Space Jam: A New Legacy, and then we'll talk about the next season.
Okay. Anyway, we know who you're talking about. We get it. We get it. Not Michael Jordan. So anyway, like I did that. Like I spent it around. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so speaking of playoffs, Trae Young has a bruised bone in his ankle, and he's out right now. Yeah, he's out for this game right now. Right now, the Hawks are up 19-16 in the first quarter. I got to give it to the Bucks. They're hanging in there. Chris Middleton, bro, it's like Chris Middleton plays when he wants to play.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's like
Chris Middleton has the potential to be a top 20 player in this league. I mean, the man can shoot the lights out. He gets in the paint. His mid-range is flawless. He plays pretty good defense, but he's just not consistent.
Right, exactly. That's his biggest issue. It's to me, he could be a top 10 player. I think he could be top 10. I would put him in top 10 if he was consistent.
Stop it.
That's the only knock on him. That's the only knock on him. If he was a consistent player, game in and game out, he could be a top 10 player. You said top 20. I would say top 10.
They said the same thing about that dude who had that great spurt in the bubble last year, who played for Indiana. I done forgot his name already. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The guy who dropped 50, then he dropped 40, then he dropped like 48, and this year he came and did absolutely nothing.
He's talking about the R&B singer. Shumpert. Not Shumpert.
Not Shumpert. Man. He played for the Pacers.
He sings R&B. He sings R&B.
Yeah, they traded Oladipo because they felt this guy, they felt his progress was going to, take Indiana to the next level, and it just didn't happen this year.
Yeah, I forgot. I know what you're talking about.
He had a good playoff. He had a good playoffs last year in the bubble, but that was it. After that, Jimmy Buckets did him filthy, and that was the end of his
Right.
end of his run, pretty much.
But see, yo, I mean, right now, Chris Middleton. I mean,
T.J. Warren.
Yes.
T.J. Warren.
Yeah. And we sorry for the disrespect. We just, I don't know.
Well, he was nameless this season, so hey,
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it was
you
numbers
had
don't lie.
you had a little spark, but now you're just garbage.
Oh man,
Jay
fell
said.
from top 10 and not mentioned
Not mentioned
at all.
at all.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but no, to me, again, Chris Middleton, he can play out of his mind when he wants to. You said it, like he plays defense. He got a mid range. He can shoot from three. I think I don't know why it's just inconsistent with him. It's like he picks his nights on what he wants to do. So
Right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens without Trae Young. I mean, the Hawks are a good team.
I want to see the A and Phoenix in the finals. I want to see two teams that never won in the finals. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers never won either. I don't want to see the Clippers in there. I don't want to see JV basketball. And I just, and Milwaukee, Milwaukee. They're
Okay.
Milwaukee.
All right, so
see the A. I want to see the A get one. Come on, shout out to the A.
yeah, they ain't been
Trae
this
Young
good.
been balling, man. Trae Young been balling, man. I want to see these young boys go. I want to see Booker versus Trae Young. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but we don't know how much Trae got with that ankle sprain. And that ankle sprain, it looked bad. It looked bad. It looked real bad. So we'll see, man. Best wishes to him. Hopefully you can come back, in the playoffs and do your thing and help your team. But another person I want to get to, a couple of Olympic issues that I want to talk about. Because it's like, man, the Olympics, they're happening this year, but a lot of people are not talking about the Olympics like they should. And somebody who kind of are getting their roses is Simone Biles. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this girl. Obviously, the pandemic done had an effect on the Olympics. It was supposed to be last year, but they obviously canceled it because of COVID. Obviously, that's nothing new. It was supposed to take place in Tokyo. It's going to take place in Tokyo this year. But Simone Biles, she's pretty much the GOAT of gymnastics. I don't know if y'all been following this pretty much. A lot of people haven't. But this girl is pretty much great at every gymnastics event, and no one is saying anything about this girl. Have you been noticing?
Yeah, she's amazing, and again, it goes into the suffocation, the subjugation of powerful black athletes and sports dominated by white athletes. But again, walk in your trap, take over your trap. You know what I'm saying? This lady walked in gymnastic and she took over, and she's speaking out.
Yeah,
so shout out to her.
Yeah, she got the Facebook documentary. Like, she runs the gymnastics event. Like, her worst is the little unbalanced bars. I guess the big bar and the little bar. That's her worst event, and she's better than everybody at her worst event.
Yeah,
like, she's gonna win. She's gonna clean up. It's gonna be a banner year for her. She should have about 7 gold medals. So, Simone, baby girl, from the fan cave, we behind you, baby. You the GOAT. Do your thing, ma. We with you on that one. A couple of other things I want to get to. Congratulations to the high school track and field guy. I don't know his name. They didn't release it because he's under 18. I think he's 17. He'll be turning 18. But he got his chance to go to Tokyo this year. He's in high school. He set a world record in Georgia. I'm sorry, a state record in Georgia, and he will qualify to go to the Tokyo Olympics. So shout out to you, young man, young black man. You're doing your thing. Good luck in Tokyo.
Shout out to you.
Behind you.
Shout out to you.
Now, another thing I want to talk about. Now, this is interesting because I kind of want to understand the beef here. And Aubrey said it best. She's definitely the GOAT. Shout out to her. Now, I want to this really bothered me. Well, it didn't really bother me because I understand, but Gwen Berry. Y'all know who Gwen Berry is. Gwen Berry, she's going to Tokyo. She set all kinds of world records when it comes to sprinting. She's fast. You've probably seen a meme or two about her. If she took your phone and ran away, what you gonna do? Probably buy another phone. Now, she protested when the national anthem was being played at a qualifier meet. She protested by standing away from the flag. She stood opposite of where you're supposed to stand. And a lot of people ripped her, including Herschel Walker's son. If y'all haven't seen it, Herschel Walker's son ripped her a new one, like really went in on her. And it's like, okay, a lot of people are saying, why are you going to protest against the country? And why are you going to represent a country if you don't want to stand there and put your hand over your heart? And why are you protesting? Why? It's like, have y'all forgotten what this was about? Like, seriously? We're really going to drag this girl? I mean, She's not taking a knee. She's not putting up. Remember in the 1970s, the Florida track meet gentleman put the arms up with the black glove on. She's not kneeling. She just simply, she what? Just because she protests means she doesn't have a right to represent her country for a game, for an event that she loves, track and field. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Cool. Did you see this, man? You see the comments?
Yeah. It's again, it comes down to the people's opinion of, patriotism, and they feel that, you're disrespecting the flag particularly. And we see the same thing happen with Kaepernick. We saw it with the NBA. But again, people are taking a stand because they feel things are not right here in the United States for Black people. Mm-hmm. And people are speaking out about it. Yeah. And finally, we're being heard. Yeah. But here we go right back to it again, where it's another point where we still have work to do in this country.
True.
We still have work to do in this country. So make this place a safe place for Black people to go and feel comfortable representing it. Because when you're representing something abroad and you're not treated right back home, it's hard to lift up your head high saying I'm representing this.
Well, Gwen Berry, sweetheart, we are behind you 1,000%. We hope you win gold over there in Tokyo. You're probably gonna win gold anyway. I don't watch the Olympics, but let's keep it a buck. When it comes to track and field, basketball, and we got gymnastics on lock. Now we done took over that sport. Let's just keep it a buck. We pretty much got gold when it comes to those events. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Facts. So, Team USA, we are behind y'all 1,000%. Gwen Berry, we are behind you 1,000% here on the Fan Cave.
Yep.
Last thing I want to talk about before we dip. Did you watch your boy's show? He wasn't on there. But your boy show,
LeBron James.
Yeah, you said his name. Hey. But did you watch this episode with Tom Brady on it?
I did not watch the show. I did watch clips of it. Shout out to Brady, man. Shout out to Brady, for real, man.
No, I've hated Tom Brady for pretty much my entire adult life. But if Tom Brady is really that way on that show, I want to kick it with Tom Brady, man. I want to kick it with him.
Word.
Tom, if you're watching this, come on the show, bro. Come on the show. If I can get that Tom Brady, oh man, I'm in. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this guy.
What did you think about LeBron's statement about, in football, you can't have a GOAT because they don't play both sides of the ball? What are your thoughts on, and Brady responded to that. Brady responded saying, I may not be able to play defense. I can't tackle. I can't do this. He sure says, I sure as H can't run, but I can throw that F out of a ball is what he said. Quote,
right.
And who's contesting that? Brady is the GOAT at throwing that ball. Let's just keep that.
Let's keep it a buck. Okay, so in this situation, you have to. Who is the best player? Who is the best overall football player that can do it all? I don't think there is. I don't think there is one, man. Football is 11.
You might have to say Deion Sanders, but
he can't tackle. He can't. Well, yeah, maybe
he couldn't tackle. Right? But with Brady it's the most important position on the field.
Yeah.
So if it is going to be a GOAT, it'll have to be him. He's the catalyst of every championship of the 2000s that he's won. He's the catalyst behind it. He's the greatest player to play in those Super Bowls that he won. So. And he won more than anybody in the history of the league, I think, as a quarterback.
I agree, but to me, there's so many factors. There's so many because let's be honest. Yes, Brady, they don't win championships if Brady's not in New England. They don't win a championship if he's in Tampa Bay.
Right.
But look at how many teams have won Super Bowls based off of just defense. The Bills lost a Super Bowl to a Giants team that was playing. Their starting quarterback was Jeff Hostetler in the game. Phil Simms didn't even play, and they won a championship because they had a good defense. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the 2000 Ravens, Trent Dilfer was their quarterback. They won a Super Bowl. So, yes. Brady's probably the greatest. He's without a shadow of a doubt the greatest quarterback of all time. But player, I don't know, man. I can't give it to him.
You know, I got a little something to throw out to the fans out there. And fans, if you got a comment on this, please feel free to comment down below. And I said this before: Brady and LeBron James GOAT debate is the same.
Okay.
Tom Brady and LeBron James GOAT debate is the same. People always, like Skip Bayless, will always try to compare Tom Brady to Michael Jordan. No. You compare Michael Jordan to an undefeated quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so then
which was Joe Montana. So if you want to talk about wins and losses and never lost before and never went to a different team, if those are the things that make you say this is why Michael Jordan is the GOAT, then you can't say Tom Brady is the GOAT. You would have to say that Montana is the GOAT if you base it off being undefeated in the Super Bowl. So again, Tom Brady being the GOAT raises the question about LeBron being the GOAT, because both LeBron and Tom Brady have both lost finals and Super Bowls.
Now,
Michael Jordan and Montana never did. These are undefeated. So if you want to say Jordan is the GOAT, you got to say Montana is the GOAT too.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's elaborate on that. Hold on, let's elaborate on that. Who's the greatest coach of all time?
Bill Belichick.
Exactly. He lost some Super Bowls, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who would be second to him?
I don't judge it based off wins. I'm talking. A lot of fans do. I don't judge whether you've lost in the Super Bowl as to whether you're a GOAT or not. But if we're going to say that Brady and Jordan are on the same level, but we say the reason why LeBron is not on Jordan's level is because he's lost championships, then you can't say that Brady's greater than Montana because he's lost championship. You catch my drift here?
I get what you're saying, but let's okay, if we're going to go with that route, Brady left the 49ers, went to Kansas City, got him to the playoffs
Got him the AFC championship. Don't get that
mixed up. And lost.
Got him to the AFC championship.
He lost. Yeah.
So
Brady went to a completely different division, a completely different conference, a completely different
LeBron won 3 championships with 3 different teams.
Okay, but come on.
You don't want to, but the people won't say he's the GOAT.
But wait.
So my point is, if you say Brady's the GOAT, you are essentially saying LeBron James is the GOAT as well.
I'm not. Because to me, no.
How can you compare Brady to Jordan? Where?
Okay. Brady lost 2 Super Bowls.
3.
2.
3. He lost 3.
He lost to the Giants twice, didn't he?
He lost to the Giants twice, and he lost to the Eagles too.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't forget that. Nick Foles. Nick Foles beat him.
I ain't gonna lie. Okay. All right, whatever.
Don't forget that.
Whatever.
You was jumping for joy when that happened. How could you forget that?
Yeah. I did forget that. I got to be honest. Okay, well, we'll go with that. But all right, but no. I'm not gonna put Joe over Brady. I can't do it. No.
Okay. Then all I'm saying is,
but I can't put LeBron over Michael either.
Okay, but I'm saying if you're saying that Jordan is better than LeBron by the basis of wins and losses in the finals.
I'm not going off of that though.
Most people do.
But I'm not.
Most people they use 2 things against LeBron. They say lost in the finals. Michael Jordan never lost, and they said he switched teams. Those are the 2 things that Brady did too. Brady did that too.
And that he doesn't have 6. He has 4.
Okay. Regardless.
So that's
Kareem
the
has
argument.
6. Kareem have 6. What we
And
saying?
Kareem is for some crazy reason he's
never
starting to
mentioned.
get his flowers now. He should have been got his flowers.
Exactly.
He should have been got his flowers. But I mean, I don't know. No. I'll just say it. No.
Fan Cave fans, leave a comment below. What do you think? You know, to make the argument of Tom Brady being the GOAT, is it the same thing of saying LeBron James is the GOAT? Because they both lost. And I look at their stories as unique, and I always say it as this: GOATE, greatest of their era. It's tough to say you're the greatest of all time when you never played against players. Like Brady didn't play in an era where they was smashing quarterbacks like they did Montana.
Oh, come on. Don't do
Come
that.
on, let's be real. Let's be real.
Let's be honest.
Let's be real.
I get what you're saying, but
Let's
the players now, hold on. The players are stronger, they are faster, they are smarter, they are more sophisticated.
But they did not protect the quarterbacks.
Come on, bro.
They did not protect the quarterbacks like that back then, as they do now.
I get that, but the level of talent is completely elevated than it was.
Yes,
these players are a lot softer. They're a lot softer. I'll give you that.
This is the same thing in the NBA, brother. LeBron is playing in a more athletic league that they call petty fouls that they didn't call in the 80s and 90s. Right or wrong?
That's fair.
So Brady is playing in a softer era of football. Let's keep it real. It's a more athletic era, but it's a softer era.
But the level of competition that Brady had to go through with the level of talent that he had on that team, come on, man. Let's be real. Aside from Randy Moss and maybe
Deion Branch, don't get it twisted.
No, not even him.
Wes Welker.
No, not even him. I would say aside from Randy Moss, obviously Gronkowski, I would throw Edelman in there.
How do you throw Edelman in there?
I can't even throw Edelman in there. No. Okay. Aside from Randy Moss and Gronkowski, name an elite talent that he had on his team.
Wes Welker.
He wasn't elite.
Best slap
he was
receiver
good.
of all time.
He was good. He wasn't elite. He wasn't elite. He was good.
He did the same thing in Denver. He did
he do the same thing in Miami? Because he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Exactly.
Miami. Who was the quarterback?
I don't know. I don't know who's the quarterback. That's a big question. But I'm talking about elite level. Okay. Is Wes Welker gonna go to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think he will.
I think he will.
His numbers say so.
Come on, man. Do you see how long it took Chris Carter, Andre Reed? Come on. Do you see what
his numbers
how
say
long
so?
it took them?
His numbers say so. His numbers say he will be in the Hall of Fame. I believe so.
Okay, well, we'll put in there Wes Welker as an alternate. But Randy Moss, Gronk, and Wes Welker. Name another receiver that he had to throw to. Name elite talent that he had to work with in New England.
Okay, so same thing with Montana. Was Jerry Rice?
Yes.
Not when he first came in the league. He had fumbleitis, couldn't catch for nothing.
Come on, man.
Montana made him.
And that's your boy.
But Montana made him Jerry Rice. Montana made Tom Rathman. Montana made Roger Craig. Montana made John Taylor. He made all of those guys great.
Okay. Well,
Brett Jones. He made those guys great. So
if we're gonna do that, then what about Bill Walsh? What about Bill Walsh? Nobody was ready for the West Coast offense at the time.
I mean, again,
Montana was the second round pick.
GOATE, greatest of their era.
Oh boy,
I hate the GOAT. I hate the GOAT talk because it's more than one GOAT.
Nah,
you're the greatest of your era. You never played. Montana was the best of his era. Brady was the best of his era. LeBron's the best of his era, and Jordan was the best of his era. That's all it is to it.
Wow. So Ali's not the GOAT.
Ali is they haven't seen anything like Ali since Ali.
Floyd Mayweather's undefeated. Ali lost.
I mean, Floyd Mayweather's undefeated, but did Floyd Mayweather really have classic boxing matches against really great contenders as on the level of Sonny Liston or Frazier. No.
That's not his fault.
No.
That's not his fault.
Even Mike Tyson didn't really fight guys on that caliber level that Muhammad Ali fought. So no. The GOAT is still the GOAT in that, because that era of boxing that Muhammad Ali boxed in happened to be the prime of boxing.
I don't know. I think it would be the prime. I would say the prime of the heavyweights. Because in the 70s, it was the prime of the heavyweights, but in the 80s, it was all the little guys, Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran and all those.
Forget Mike Tyson was in the 80s. But
he was late 80s though. He was late 80s though.
Yeah, well, he still was 80s.
Okay, and then the 90s, what? Boxing was kind of dead after Tyson left.
No, they had some classic magic, Riddick Bowe and Holyfield and.
Okay, I'll give you Holyfield.
Maybe what's the dude from Rocky?
Exactly.
Tommy Doyle, whatever his name was.
Really?
He had a little run.
Tommy Guns.
Tommy Guns. He had a little run. He was knocking people out.
Come on, man. Man. In the 90s, boxing was dead until Roy Jones came into the picture. Let's be real.
Well, until Tyson came out of jail, yes.
So there you go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Any other shout outs we want to give out before we dip out of here?
Man, shout out to Kid from Kid and Play, as we mentioned earlier. Shout out to Stevie Johnson. He gonna give us a nice little shout out.
Why So Serious.
Mr. Why So Serious for giving us a shout out for the Fan Cave, and Cuzin Brad being a fan of the show. We're gonna definitely throw that out there for y'all to see. Stevie Johnson from the former Bills wide receiver supporting the Fan Cave. Man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Man, we building something special here on IBP Media, the Fan Cave Sports Talk.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Like, share, subscribe. IBP Media. Love you guys.